Today, I want to talk to you about something incredibly powerful, something we all possess, yet often forget to tap into, our inner strength. Life throws challenges our way. Some come like a gentle breeze, others like a storm. But within each of us lies a power, a quiet resilience, a voice that whispers, "You can get through this." Inner strength isn't about being the loudest in the room or the toughest on the outside. It's about staying grounded when everything around you is shaking. It's waking up and trying again, even when yesterday broke you down. You don't need to wait for a crisis to find your strength. It's already within you. You've shown it when you got up after failing, when you stood up for yourself, or when you held your head high during your lowest moments. Inner strength is already within you. One of the biggest misconceptions about strength is that it's something we have to acquire from the outside. We often look to mentors, books, motivational videos, or even other people's approval, hoping they will somehow give us the courage or resilience we lack. But the truth is, inner strength is not something you find, it's something you uncover. From the moment we're born, we begin building strength. Think about the child who falls while learning to walk. They don't give up. They try again, again, and again, until walking becomes second nature. That instinct, that refusal to quit, is a form of inner strength. It's not taught, it's innate. As we grow, society, fear, and self-doubt can cloud that power. We start to believe we're not enough. We compare ourselves to others and assume they have something we don't. But what we fail to realize is that everything we admire in others, grit, confidence, determination, also lives within us. It may be buried under layers of past experiences, pain, or self-limiting beliefs, but it's there. Inner strength doesn't always come with a bang. Sometimes it shows up as a whisper, the decision to keep going when it's easier to quit, the quiet act of forgiveness, the calm voice that says, "Try one more time." These moments don't require outside permission or approval. They come from you. We all have stories where we've shown incredible strength. Maybe we just didn't label it that way. It might have been a time when you supported someone while you were silently struggling yourself. Or when you picked yourself up after a failure even though no one saw it. These are moments of power, and they prove that strength isn't out there. It's already inside you, waiting for you to trust it. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. You simply have to remember that you're already equipped with what it takes to face life. Your inner strength is like a muscle. The more you trust it and use it, the stronger it becomes. 2. Resilience is built through adversity. We often wish life could be smooth, free of hardship and discomfort. But the truth is, it's in the struggle that we discover how strong we really are. Resilience isn't something you're born with, it's something that is built step by step through adversity. When we face challenges, whether they're personal losses, failures, setbacks, or emotional pain, we are pushed beyond our comfort zones. These moments test us. They challenge our patience, our self-belief, and sometimes even our will to keep moving forward. But they also give us a choice. We can either collapse under the weight of difficulty or stand up and grow stronger from it. Think about some of the most inspiring people in the world, leaders, creators, survivors. Many of them have gone through significant hardships. What sets them apart isn't that their path was easier, it's that they chose to keep going in spite of the pain. They didn't let adversity define them, they let it refine them. Every hardship carries a lesson. Every time you're knocked down and choose to rise again, your resilience grows. You start to realize that pain is not the end. It's a teacher, a forge, it shapes you. And slowly, as you continue to show up tired, uncertain, but still present, you develop the kind of strength that isn't shaken easily. Resilience doesn't mean you're unaffected by what happens to you. It doesn't mean pretending everything is fine or burying your emotions. It means allowing yourself to feel the weight of your experience while still choosing to carry it forward. It's crying when you need to, resting when you must, but always coming back with the intention to rebuild. You may not notice your resilience while you're in the middle of a storm. It often reveals itself in hindsight. One day, you'll look back at something you thought would break you and realize it built you instead. Pain is part of the process. No one becomes mentally tough in a life of ease. Just like muscles need resistance to grow, your mind and spirit need struggle to evolve. The adversity you face today could be the very thing that strengthens you for tomorrow's challenge. 3. Belief in yourself is foundational at the core of every act of strength, every moment of courage, and every decision to keep going. There is one vital ingredient: self-belief. Without it, even the most talented, intelligent, or capable individuals can fall short of their potential. With it, ordinary people can achieve the extraordinary. Believing in yourself doesn't mean thinking you'll never fail. It means knowing that when you do fail, it doesn't define you. It strengthens you. Self-belief is the foundation upon which all inner strength is built. It's what allows you to try again, to dream bigger, to take the first step even when the path ahead isn't clear. Think about it. How often do we stop ourselves before we even start? How many ideas, dreams, or goals are left unfulfilled simply because someone doubted themselves? The fear of not being enough can be paralyzing, but here's the truth: no one starts out feeling 100% ready. Confidence is not a prerequisite, it's a result of action, and belief fuels that action. Belief is a decision. It's choosing to back yourself even when others don't. It's choosing to speak up when it's easier to stay silent. It's choosing to move forward even when every part of you feels unsure. And like a muscle, belief grows stronger with use. The more you act on it, the more it reinforces itself. The more you challenge your limits, the more you start to believe that you are capable of far more than you once imagined. That belief doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be boastful. Sometimes it's quiet and firm, like a voice that says, "I can handle this," or "I'll figure it out." Sometimes it's the smallest whisper in your mind saying, "Don't give up yet." Of course, there will be moments when doubt creeps in. That's normal. Even the most confident people experience it. The key is not to eliminate self-doubt entirely. It's to stop letting it control you. You may not always believe in the outcome, but you can always choose to believe in your ability to learn, adapt, and grow. When you believe in yourself, it changes the way you carry yourself. It changes your mindset, your decisions, and the energy you bring into the world. People start to see it in you too, and often others begin to believe in you because you believed in yourself first. 4. Courage is strength in action. Courage is often misunderstood. People think it means being fearless or charging into situations without hesitation. But real courage, the kind that leads to inner strength, isn't about being unafraid. It's about taking action despite fear. It's strength that shows itself through choices, through movement, through forward momentum, even when uncertainty looms large. Courage is not reserved for heroes or historic figures. It lives in everyday decisions. It's the student who raises their hand in class despite anxiety. It's the person who leaves a toxic situation without knowing what comes next. It's the individual who chooses honesty over comfort, who admits when they're struggling, who keeps showing up when quitting would be easier. Every one of these moments is an act of strength in motion. Inner strength is invisible until courage activates it. You might feel uncertain, small, or overwhelmed, but when you take that first step anyway, your inner strength begins to speak. Courage is what transforms potential into progress. It turns intention into impact. Without it, strength stays dormant. With it, you begin to shape your own reality. Courage also means being vulnerable. It takes real bravery to open up, to ask for help, to show the world your authentic self. Society often tells us to toughen up, to hide our emotions, to stay strong by suppressing what hurts. But true courage, true strength, is choosing to feel, to heal, and to be real. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's one of the deepest forms of courage there is. The most powerful thing about courage is that it builds on itself. Every act of bravery, no matter how small, strengthens your character. It teaches you something vital: you can survive what scares you. The more you face your fears, the more resilient you become, and over time, fear loses its grip, not because it disappears, but because you've learned that it doesn't have the final say. Courage is not a one-time event. It's a practice. You don't have to be bold all the time. You just have to be bold in moments. The moment you speak up, the moment you try something new, the moment you decide you're worth fighting for. These moments accumulate, and before you know it, you've built a life that's not ruled by fear, but guided by strength. 5. Consistency beats intensity in a world that praises big wins and dramatic transformations. We often forget the quiet power of consistency. We get caught up in the idea that strength is about bold gestures, intense motivation, or grand achievements. But the truth is, real inner strength is built in the small, repeated efforts, the kind that don't make headlines, but shape your character day by day. Anyone can be intense for a moment. It's easy to be motivated when you're inspired, when the energy is high, when everything feels fresh and new. But what happens when the excitement fades? What happens on the days when you don't feel like showing up? That's where strength is truly tested, and where consistency becomes your superpower. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean never missing a day or always getting it right. It means staying committed. It means returning to the path again and again, even when progress feels slow or invisible. It's showing up when no one is watching. It's choosing discipline over mood, values over convenience, and long-term growth over short-term comfort. Think about any skill, habit, or mindset you've ever developed, whether it was learning to play an instrument, building a healthy routine, or working through personal challenges. It was the daily, deliberate actions that made the difference. Not one burst of effort, but many small steps taken consistently over time. Inner strength works the same way. It's forged through the practice of persistence. When you train your mind to keep going, to try, to fail, to learn, and to try again, you build resilience in layers. The strength you need for life doesn't come from a single breakthrough. It comes from thousands of tiny decisions, to stay grounded, to choose growth, to act with intention even when you don't feel like it. There's something deeply empowering about knowing that you don't have to do everything at once. You don't have to conquer the mountain in a day. You just have to keep walking one step, then another. And over time, those steps compound. They build momentum. They create habits. And before you know it, the version of you who once struggled to begin is now someone who doesn't quit. Consistency teaches you that progress isn't always visible, but it's always happening. Every time you choose to honor your goals, your growth, or your healing, you're becoming stronger, even if you don't feel it right away. And that quiet, enduring strength, that's the kind that lasts. 6. Strength is silent, not always visible when we think of strength. It's easy to imagine something loud, forceful, or visibly impressive. Athletes breaking records, leaders commanding attention, people standing tall in moments of triumph. But there's another kind of strength, one that often goes unnoticed. It's quieter, subtler, and perhaps even more powerful. The kind of strength that lives in silence, in stillness, in quiet perseverance. True inner strength doesn't always announce itself. It doesn't demand recognition. In fact, some of the strongest people are those who appear the calmest on the surface. They don't seek applause. They don't boast about their struggles. They simply carry on, doing what needs to be done, often with no one else even knowing the battles they're fighting. This silent strength shows up in the mother who keeps going for her children even when she's emotionally exhausted. It's in the student who studies by candlelight because they believe in a better future. It's in the person battling anxiety or depression who gets out of bed and faces the day anyway. It's in the quiet forgiveness offered when anger would be easier. It's in every moment where someone endures, grows, or heals, without recognition, without a spotlight. In today's world of social media and constant visibility, we're conditioned to believe that success and strength must be seen to be real. But the loudest voice isn't always the strongest. Often, the loudest voice is trying to drown out doubt. Meanwhile, the strongest people are busy doing the work, internally and externally, without broadcasting it to the world. Silent strength is humble, it's grounded, it's consistent and enduring. It doesn't crumble under pressure because it's not built for show, it's built for substance. This kind of strength comes from deep within. It's a result of values of clarity, of quiet determination to live with integrity and resilience. And perhaps most importantly, silent strength is compassionate. It doesn't need to overpower others to feel secure. It makes room for vulnerability. It listens more than it speaks. It uplifts others because it doesn't feel threatened by their success. People with quiet strength have often walked through fire, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, and emerged with empathy, not ego. So when you look at yourself or others and wonder what strength looks like, remember, It's not always about being bold, loud, or visible. Sometimes it's the steady hands in chaos, the calm in the storm, the quiet decision to carry on without needing anyone else to know how hard it was. You are stronger than you think. Far too often, we underestimate our own strength. We doubt our ability to handle pain, to overcome obstacles, to adapt when life suddenly shifts. But the truth is, you are far stronger than you realize, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Your strength isn't always obvious in the moment, but it's been with you all along, showing itself in ways you might have overlooked. Think back to moments in your life when you didn't think you'd make it through. Those seasons of heartbreak, loss, disappointment, or uncertainty. You may not have had all the answers. You may have cried, fallen apart, or questioned everything. But you're here, you got through it, and that survival wasn't luck or coincidence. It was strength, your strength. We live in a world that constantly bombards us with reasons to doubt ourselves. We compare our behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reels. We internalize criticism, minimize our efforts, and focus on where we fall short. But the reality is that every challenge you've ever faced, every moment of discomfort you've endured, has helped forge something incredibly powerful within you. Strength isn't about being unbreakable, it's about being able to bend without breaking. It's the capacity to endure stress, loss, or failure, and still move forward. It's not flashy, it doesn't always feel empowering in real time. Sometimes it feels like barely holding it together, but even in those fragile moments, your strength is present, quietly, patiently, guiding you through. You are stronger than you think because you've already been tested in ways others may never fully understand. You've fought battles no one saw, you've had to make tough choices, carry unseen burdens, and hold yourself together for the sake of others. And despite it all, you continue. You may have scars, but you're still standing. That's strength. There's also a kind of strength in recognizing your growth. The person you are today has more insight, resilience, and awareness than the version of you from a year ago. That growth didn't happen overnight. It was earned. It came from facing difficult truths, taking responsibility for your healing, and pushing through when everything in you wanted to give up. If you look closely, your entire journey is proof that you are capable of far more than you once believed. And when the next challenge comes, as it inevitably will, you'll face it with more wisdom, more inner tools, and a deeper belief in yourself. Because now you know the strength is already there. You've proven it time and time again. And every step you take forward reinforces that truth. You are stronger, braver, and more resilient than your doubts would ever admit.